Hello everybody, if you are affected by the Voyager halt, you might want to watch this video. There is an update from Voyager on Twitter. I want to review the share price, the stock price of Voyager, and then I wanted to give you some of my own personal thoughts with what's happening with Voyager. First and foremost, this is the Voyager Twitter page. I definitely urge you to follow them on Twitter. I'm going to read to you what they said, but I'm going to compare this to what kind of happened with Celsius. And there's a big difference about what's happening with getting ahead of something or not answering and keeping the community in the shadows. Voyager, at Invest Voyager. Voyager, there is nothing more critical to us than our customers. Please know that we are focusing on protecting assets and maximizing value for all customers as quickly as possible. We currently have approximately $1.3 billion of crypto assets on our platform, plus claims against Three Arrows Capital of more than $650 million. We also have over $350 million of cash at the Metropolitan Commercial Bank. We are doing everything in our power to best serve our customers for the long term. We are actively pursuing a series of strategic alternatives to do just that. We will share more updates as we have them. First and foremost, what I like about this tweet, they're getting ahead of the problem. Yes, there's a problem. I'm not defending them. It sucks what's happening. But I feel like they're getting ahead of this, and no hate to the Celsius community, but I feel like they're getting ahead of this a lot better than Celsius. Now, you guys might think this is BS, or you might think that this is commendable, but at the very least, at least they're keeping the community in the light. They're literally saying, we have this much money, we have this much debt, we're going after these people, and we have this much crypto, right? Plus, I made a video the other day, I'm going to link it at the end of this video, where you actually go over their books, showing you who's lent what crypto, how much crypto, so on and so forth. So by them getting ahead of this and actually making tweets about this, it puts the community at ease. So now there's two different types of thinking. The community for Voyager is like, well, this really sucks, but at least they're trying to figure this out. And the perception for Celsius was, well, this really sucks, but you're completely freaking screwing us, right? And again, I hate to compare the two, but this is just my own personal point of view. Now, I do think that Voyager is going to be bailed out. I do think that probably Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX is going to make some type of deal with Voyager like he did with BlockFi. I think he is going to be buying up a lot of different crypto platforms right now, because right now everything is soft in the market. And the best time to prepare for a bull market is during a bear market. Now, Voyager has a huge name. Let's say they can find an investor, and let's say they can do this really fast. Let's say in the next week they close out some type of deal. There's going to be a lot of faith in Voyager. There's not going to be a problem. Yes, there's going to be a small, tiny bank run, but it's not going to get completely demolished. That's my personal thought. I want to show you the stock price, and I wanted to give you some more comments. You currently look at Voyager. Voyager is up nearly 14% for the day and trading at nearly 35 cents per share. Voyager is absolutely demolished. If you go for the last year, it's nearly down 98%. I did buy into Voyager. I didn't invest my funds into Voyager. I wasn't an early investor into Voyager. I don't trade on Voyager, so on and so forth. I'm not a financial advisor, purely entertainer and educator at best. However, I did make a YOLO play with Voyager. I invested total around $2,500, nothing too crazy. If I lose that money, I'm fine with that. However, I do think that they are going to be bailed out. I do think that the price of Voyager can definitely get into a few dollars, a couple of dollars range without too much difficulty if they get bailed out. Now, there's a lot of people with a lot of money in the crypto market. Now, the current market cap of Voyager is only $97 million. If they have a lot of money in cash and they really got screwed up because of Three Arrows Capital, which it seems like that $675 million or so really messed them up. If not for that $675 million, they would not be insolvent. They would not be having these issues. They would be just fine. Their business model, although it's crazy that they were lending out all of this cash, they were giving these crazy percentages, they were pretty good. They were not in a bad situation. This whole bad situation stems from Terra Luna. Terra Luna collapse, Terra Luna stablecoin collapse, Three Arrows Capital gets screwed up, Three Arrows Capital is not paying back their money, Voyager gets clipped. Now, if somebody understands the situation and is like, hey, This can be a temporary situation because their business model actually made sense. Their business model made money. Now, I'm just looking at the top layer, right? I'm not going too deep, but I'm just thinking. Some investor might be like, in the future, I can make money. And let's say an investor is going to come along and somebody puts down $500,000 onto Voyager, or somebody comes down and says, you know what? 3 Arrows Capital, 600 million, 675 million, they clipped you. We're going to cover that. Give us 50% of the company. Whatever. I'm just giving you guys an example. Or give us 25% of the company. If they do that, that share price, that's 34 cents right now, is going to jump up to $2 or $3 or $4. I can see that happening. I can see Voyager 10xing from here. If Bitcoin pops, and I mean a big if, but if Bitcoin pops from 20,000 that it is right now, 19 and change, and it goes to 30,000 or 40,000, Voyager is going to be just okay as well. Voyager, that price I can see at $1. As long as Voyager doesn't go under, which there's a risk here, huge risk and huge potential for Voyager to go under. This is high risk, high reward. Super high risk, high reward play. Voyager got clipped because of 3 Arrows Capital. They're going to be doing business differently if they survive this thing. And I really do mean if. But there's a lot of people with a lot of money. And although 500, 600, 700, even $1 billion seems like a lot of money, there's a lot of people that have that money easy. Winklevoss twins, Sam from FTX, Binance CZ. A lot of people have that money. Peter Thiel from Pantera Capital, he's into crypto big time, right? There's a lot of people that have a lot of money that can invest and bail out Voyager. And I think a lot of people are going to bail out Voyager. I'll give you another scenario. A lot of people that wanted to be a publicly traded crypto company, crypto platform. Voyager is traded OTC. It is a Canadian company. Well, maybe they'll buy them and merge their specific company with Voyager under the Voyager umbrella. That's also a possibility. Almost like people are investing in a SPAC, right? Special Purpose Acquisition Company. Instead of going public, they already have a company that is public. And the people in Voyager will probably take any type of buyout, probably take any type of investment or infusion of funds because they want to make the depositors whole. Nobody wants to screw people that deposited their money. I think that's a little bit of a difference between Voyager and Celsius and the way Voyager is handling it as opposed to the way Celsius is handling it, and in a bigger picture of what's going on between Voyager and what's going on between Celsius, especially because Celsius was all like, F the banks suck, we're different, da-da-da. At the end of the day, they weren't, da-da-da. They were exactly the same. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen with Voyager. They are going to be bailed out because of everything that I just said. And if they are bailed out, Voyager is going to be just fine, and that price is going to go up. Also, this month, I made a video earlier. We have the CPI data. We have that FOMC meeting. We still have to see the jobs report. We still have to see consumer sentiment. And we need to actually see the GDP. There's a lot of catalysts for the economy, or there's a lot of negative catalysts for the economy that can drop it. We got to see what the heck is happening. But at any freaking moment, any of these things could really bull up cryptocurrency. They can make Bitcoin go to the freaking moon. They could also drop it. Plus, there's supposed to be regulation. I hear some rumors about some Biden regulations by the end of the year. So we're going to see what's going to happen. But there's a lot of ability to get out of the situation. There's also a lot of ability for the situation to get worse. For Voyager, I think that they will be bailed out by Uncle Sam. And guys, when I say Uncle Sam, I mean Sam Bankman-Fried, who's the owner of FTX. I don't mean Uncle Sam as in the United States government. For this is why I invested in Voyager. A lot of people are like, oh, that's such a stupid play, blah, 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 blah. Understands what a YOLO play is. Not all my plays are YOLO. A small percentage of my portfolio, up to 5%, is YOLO plays. Let's see what's going to happen and roll the dice. Yes, I said that. Is it sound investing? No, it's not sound investing, but that's not the only investing that I do. It's a small portion of my portfolio. But also, if you don't do these crazy plays, you're not going to make those crazy returns if these plays would have panned out. That's what I'm counting on, right? You're not going to get an overnight 10x play, 5x play, 3, 4x play, right? That's what I'm hoping is going to happen with Voyager. And because of all the things that I'm saying, and because I know the crypto market, I do think that they're going to be bailed out. And when they're bailed out, the first thing that's going to happen is the depositors are going to be made whole. So if you got money on your Voyager account, I think you guys are going to be just fine. If I had to give it like a percentage chance, I would say that Celsius is probably 60-40, 70-30, 80-20 or so going under. And I would say that Voyager is more like a 50-50 or 60-40 in the positive side that it gets bailed out. If I had to put a number on it, and those numbers can mean literally nothing, I'm just giving you guys my own personal thought. If you like this type of video, hit me up with the subscribe down below. And if you subscribe, hit me up with a comment telling me, hey, Adam, I subscribed. And I'm personally going to say thank you in return for your subscription in the comments down below. Have a great day.